So, what I wanted to talk to you about today are the two essential parts to your child custody case. And I think that a lot of times people forget that in your child custody case, not only do you have to understand what the judge is looking for in terms of the best interest of the children, not only do you have to gather evidence that speaks to those best interest factors, but you also have to know what you're doing in the courtroom. So there's kind of two parts to it. You have to understand what the laws are around child custody in your jurisdiction, and you have to understand the courtroom procedures if you end up in court. So it's like they go hand in hand, and one doesn't necessarily work without the other. If you go to trial and you don't have an understanding what that process is going to look like, it could be the death of you. And that's part of the reason that I started Command the Courtroom in the first place, because I went into court so many times and I would see a person opposite me who was not represented by an attorney, and they were clueless. They were clueless about what questions to ask, about how to address the court, about how to get evidence admitted. And a lot of times what ended up happening was they'd crash and burn, or they'd get paralyzed by fear. And then I saw decisions being made by judges that weren't in the best interest of the children because the judge didn't have the information that they needed. So even though the person may have gathered the right information, they didn't know how to present it. So when you guys are going through this process, you have to understand that it's more than just gathering your documentation, more than just disclosing that evidence, more than just requesting information from the other side. You have to know what to do with the evidence once you head into the courtroom. So, you guys, those are the two parts. And, like I said, they go hand in hand. One doesn't work without the other. So, when you are working on your cases, whether it's with an attorney or without an attorney, you need to study both the best interest factors. You need to study the custody laws in your jurisdiction, and you have to study courtroom procedure. Now, I have a couple of different courses that each address those things. For example, the trial boot camp it's a crash course on what you should be doing in the courtroom. It's not, you're not going to be a lawyer by the end of it, but you'll be steps ahead of where you were before. And then I have the Build Your Best Custody case where I talk about the best interest factors. I have the 21-day child custody challenge where I talk about child custody cases. And I'm just throwing this out there because those courses attack different aspects of your case. So hopefully that makes sense.